Here, God bless your Christmas. I welcome you to the last edition of Journalist Hangout this week. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, today on the program, court orders Governor Fubara's loyalist, Edison Ehie, to preside over Rivers State House of Assembly proceedings, and later on we'll share this with you. Yobe State expands access to affordable healthcare delivery with establishment of the largest maternity and pediatric complex in this country. I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, getting ready for Christmas. I greet you. We are joined by Tunde Abaton. Tunde.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome. Okay, the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, let's go, gentlemen. It's Christmas time across Christendom and in Nigeria. Therefore, some governors have taken advantage of the festive season of goodwill and merriment to reach the vulnerable. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State supervised the distribution of 100 million naira to about 10,000 families in the Kala Baige local government area of the state. According to Professor Zulum, the beneficiaries were mainly victims of the Boko Haram insurgency who lost their means of livelihood. For his Yobe State counterpart, Maimala Buni, giving the Christian community in the state at Christmas means reaching out to the vulnerable at this time as well. The Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, led the distribution of the food basket in the spirit of Christmas. Let's share this story with you.
Since the fuel subsidy removal was announced, the Yobe State Emergency Management Agency has been distributing food and non-food items to the less privileged across the 17 local government areas. But this time, the attention is shifting to the Christian community in the Maturu. 2,200 beneficiaries were selected from the Christian community to benefit from these food items donated by the Yobe State government. The leader of the State Humanitarian Agency speaks more on what necessitated the gesture.
It cannot go around across everybody, but as directed by His Excellency, the poorest of the poor, even if it is one person per a cluster or per community, let them get something ahead of the Christmas. And we choose today so that they will not go and borrow money or borrow food item from this, looking at the challenges, especially with the ongoing challenges across the country. So we choose today ahead of the Christmas so that they will get something and prepare for the Christmas.
The beneficiaries expressed their joy, noting that the gesture would go a long way, especially during the Yuletide celebration.
I want to appreciate Governor Buni for the support for Christians. We really appreciate him. May the Lord bless him and grant him strength to hold this position. We are very grateful for that.
This intervention, we appreciate it seriously because some they cannot afford to eat 2 square meals in a day. But do you know that this food where they give, everybody will celebrate Christmas in good condition.
The State Executive Secretary says the same gesture will be extended to the local government levels before the New Year celebration. Michael Oshoma, TVC News, Damaturu, Yobe State.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am
here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
The TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Okay, folks, welcome back. You did quickly, it's Christmas season, giving in the spirit of goodwill towards men.
Yes, I am really impressed by what some of my brother governors in the North are doing. If you cannot empathize with people at this time, not just because of Christmas, but because our people are going through a lot, and you are earning a lot more from FAC now than before. Some governors are getting twice what they used to get. If you can't ease people's pains, yes, from the distributable revenue from the center, if you can't ease people's pains, then you are not fit to be a leader.
Yeah.
You got to do your best. And you have the resources to do that. It doesn't take so much. Some of the things we waste money on, look, it will help if we would divert such money to something better. You put smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
You even prolong the lives of some people without knowing. So,
but you must
now,
reconcile that with the fact that so many of us don't have generous hearts.
Yes. Even with resources that do not directly belong to us, which is what makes it extremely bad. You got, before now, the governor of Yobe State has been distributing palliatives. We would take palliatives to different communities, took palliatives to schools, tertiary institutions. Students getting food packs, 10 kg bags of rice and all that inside. Some governors in the southwest here, we've not seen them do that. They are going around, always going to Abuja as if when they contested election, they had a contract with the voter that they will stay in Abuja.
Yeah.
You know? So now, beyond giving palliatives to the needy, this governor from Yobe State chose the period of Christmas, chose the Christmas season to reach out to vulnerable Christians. I think this is an example that ought to be emulated by others. Discover these ones who are vulnerable, put smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
In fact, God will bless you in a way that you do not expect if you do that. And then look at Zulum, going to Kalabalgi along the border with Cameroon. Kalabalgi local government ran to distribute 10,000 naira to 100,000
families,
households, women, and all that. This is what we want to see. Look at the number of people, carrying bags of rice.
The pictures don't tell lies.
They don't tell lies. I've been bringing some of these shows from Yobe State, and they've not stopped. They keep doing it. While we can't see, have you seen the governor of Osun do something like this?
Or even Ogun State.
Ogun State, have you seen the multitude distributing? Are they not all governors? Why is this so difficult for them?
Might I talk about my Akwa Ibom?
We do not see others do it. Look at this boy doing his speech to come with bags of rice behind him. I mean, pictures don't tell lies. So we need to change. These governors need to change. The times are bad, but they can help.
Yeah. Today, the simple statement is, it can be done.
Well,
it can be done.
With what Zulum and Governor of Yobe State have done, it shows that humanity is still possible. That is, our leaders, elected leaders, can still be humane to the people within the resources they are getting. Like he said, since June this year, they have been getting 3 times more than what they used to get. Go and look at their budget. But like he said, I have not seen any state, I have not come across anybody, at least where I live, is a clear example of where people are deprived. I have not come across any underprivilege in Ogun State or Osun, Ekiti, where their governors are reaching out to them. And this is the time of love. Unfortunately, most of the governors in the Southwest, they call themselves Christians so far. They go to church. They cannot show empathy to their people. So what these people have done, what of the Ogun State claim, example, I will mention Ogun State, claim to be the third state in Nigeria that's generating much revenue. But you cannot see it in the way in which the government is dispensing the benefit of that position to the people of the state. You cannot see anything.
Ordinary people must feel it.
The ordinary people must feel it.
Giving, a heart of giving, a generous heart is not an easy thing to come by.
If it is not scriptural, at least they were elected. At least they were. If they cannot follow the scriptures that say, "Give and shall be given unto you," at least they were elected to be responsible to the people under them.
Yeah.
A man in a house, you are supposed to take care of your children. The Bible says that he who cannot feed his family is worse than infidel. Any governor that cannot take care of the people that are underprivileged,
it's not what
it's not what being a governor.
And as we sit here, so many homes, lamentably across this land, have not eaten.
They have not eaten, and our leaders are going.
Look at these pictures. You know, it has to tell you that this will be done in an orderly manner. Everyone goes, picks his own. They are on a single file. They pick their bags. See the way they've arranged.
Yeah, no chaos.
No chaos at all. Very orderly.
Everyone will get his own and go. 2,200 Christians, vulnerable Christians in Yobe State. Each person goes, picks his own. And it's a continuous thing. You have the resources, for God's sake, to do this.
Yeah.
What do they call it? There's a particular vote that is not questioned.
Security vote.
The security vote is if the governors can endeavor to spend 1/4 of it for the poor in their states, things will be better. Okay, when you go out like this and pick this thing, there's dignity in even giving. When you dignify the person, you are giving something. The person will pray for you from the depth of his heart. Not when they were in the sun for 5 hours and they are struggling to get
maybe one dedica
of rice or beans. So I think our governor, I think Governor Zulum and Governor Yobe State have taught our governors in the south how to show humanity.
And to consider that many states in the north don't receive
much. They don't receive much. They don't receive much.
In the south get.
This is Zulum.
Yeah.
He shared 10,000 to 100,000
people.
And he will do it by himself. You see him standing. He's ready to make that sacrifice. You see? That's his helicopter that landed in Iran, headquarters of Kalabalgi. You know? So he's by himself. By himself.
Jide, it is not rocket science. These things
is doable.
Humanity is possible.
Yeah,
depends on the state of the mind, but most of them are.
Most
of our governors have contempt for the people who elected them into power.
That's why they are not accessible.
They have contempt. That's why they are not accessible. That's why it's very difficult for you to see them.
Once they become governor, it becomes something else. You can't reach them.
How can a governor be telling the people that I'm not supposed to do all the roads in my state and not all the places? You are responsible for each and every citizen of that state. That I'm not supposed to do.
You are responsible for their welfare.
For their welfare.
All right, gentlemen, the Christmas season is here, so let's, we must temper what we say from here, at least in the spirit of the season.
Yeah, I will not temper anything. If the governors are not doing what is right, tell them. It's as simple as that. I will not at this age become a sycophant to governor or be afraid of them. What are they going to do to me?
Okay. All right, let's go to our next story. You know, new twists are emerging in the political crisis that rocked River State recently. In the latest development, hundreds of problems occupied the gate, protesters, I should say, hundreds of protesters occupied the gate of Government House in Port Harcourt for peaceful protest in support of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The protesters, comprising student unions, civil liberty organizations, and so on, the Hausa community, amongst others, there occupied the Government House main gate along Azikiwe Road in Port Harcourt. We'll share some of the goings on with you. Let's go there. Please come with me.
Anybody to surmount the will of Rivers people. So I want to call the governor. Don't be under any pressure by anybody, We want to call on the governor. No presentation of the second budget to purported members of the House of Assembly. We have one speaker recognized by law, Right Honorable Edison here. And as much the seat of the 27 lawmakers is vacant. We want to call on the governor. We don't know what you are doing. As our people, we voted for you, and you must listen to us. Tinubu is not from Rivers State. Tinubu is not from Rivers State. And as much, His Excellency, please, we beg you in the name of God, don't listen to anybody, any attempt to recall anybody as commissioner who occupy government. Thank you and God bless you. We gather your day, make we.
Well, today, footage from Port Harcourt.
Well, at any point in time, I'm not surprised about this because that has been the pattern over the years. Whenever anybody is in power, when there is crisis, everybody has the tendency to mobilize people. But then, one has to look at the fact that this government is just, the man came into power May 29 this year. That is roughly 7 months ago. I think both parties, both the governor and the former governor of the state, who happens to be a minister for the FCT, they should regard the people as their primary source of power. And if they are their primary source of power, the governor should busy himself between now and the next 18 months trying to fulfill all the campaign promises he made to the people. They should not allow politics destroy governance. Because as it is now, governance in Rivers State have been effectively put on hold. Because when a governor has a troubled mind, when he's not settled with his cabinet, when a governor is not settled with the members of the House of Assembly that are supposed to make laws for him, there's very little he can do with regard to impacting on the people of the state. So good governance is sovereign in Rivers State, whether we like it or not. Yes, it is good for people to come out, but let both parties know that they have to deliver to the people that elected them into power.
And you know this feeling that, oh, we elected you, you can't listen to other people. Things don't work like that. There's no state in Nigeria that is self-sufficient, that can imagine that it doesn't have to relate with others. So it's a nation. You can't say that a governor cannot listen to a president because you are the ones, because he did not come from your state. Look at the ridiculous statement that guy made, that
the 8-point resolution.
What is the president of Nigeria? If Rivers is on fire, did the leaders and elders of Rivers not tell Tinubu to intervene? Yes. At that judge, the former governor and others, they told the president to intervene. And you are saying because he's not from Rivers, he cannot intervene. Oh, that's ridiculous.
That's why I believe that it was.
Why do we go to this?
We have had instances like this before.
We have had
in the
Obasanjo was not from. Obasanjo is not from Osun now. He had to intervene in the Modakeke thing.
He was not from Plateau. He was not from Ondo.
And see them killing one another. Tinubu intervened in Ondo. Is he from Ondo State? Why do people mount the podium and say absolute rubbish? I mean, what we want is peace.
I think it's all planned.
If you can't say because the president is not from your state, he cannot intervene in your state. What kind of...
you get the impression, gentlemen.
You may not appreciate, you may not like some of the decisions reached. They have a right to say yes, some of them appear to favor Wike, But to go to the extent of saying that governor should not listen to a president. And I don't understand. This thing, they need to continue to pursue peace on this matter, and we will get there. I don't even believe that this last meeting that the president held will be the final. In achieving peace, you have many meetings. Some of those issues can still be looked at again. But we must not believe that we must use force at every point. We are going to occupy a government house if we do not do this, if we do not do that. The Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, at a point, too, felt that, look, because of the earlier success of occupying
the Golan.
What's that square called?
Okay.
In China.
By the time Sisi,
Mohammed Morsi,
yes, Morsi's people, they felt that, look, if you can achieve everything through civil disobedience. But when Sisi came in, it showed them that there is limit to occupation. They chased everybody away from the place.
Yeah, from the square.
Yes,
Remember.
they chased them away. Whereas it was that square that square is the symbol of the Arab Spring struggle. But with Sisi, he will not allow it. I'm not saying the president should use force on rivers or anywhere, but appreciate intervention. You may not like all of what the president and co decided. Even me, I cannot say in clear conscience that I like every decision. But the spirit in even intervening is something that impresses me. He could have been aloof, he could have left them alone.
Yeah.
We are the same people who will be saying, oh, is it because it's not your state? Now you are saying that it's not from that state, it should not, therefore it should not intervene in your matters. Abba.
Well, today Plato said mankind will never see the end of trouble until lovers of wisdom are in charge, you know. In Nigeria, you get the impression it is politics of in the Eastern world, you talk about politics of right and left, but here it should be politics of right and wrong. We must address it when it is wrong.
Well, I think
it is right.
I just think that governance is also part of the whole thing. Politics is part of governance, and there's no way you can separate governance from politics. But the fact remains that all parties who claim, because they claim to be representing the people, which is ironical, they should consider the people as the first priority. And that is putting every cast on the table. Every cast on the table, and we address it as per. We see, there's a saying in my place that when elders are in the market, the head of the child should not go bend. Oh, that reinforces the idea that so far there are still elders in this society. At least at a point, the elders in River State, they approach the president, asking him to intervene.
Because now he has intervened.
And he has intervened, and they are not satisfied. Naturally.
Becoming troublous. Okay, we have our colleague, broadcaster journalist, DG Bademosi, joining us. DG, I greet you. Good afternoon. DG, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah, so what can you tell us there, DG?
What do you make of this protest and the attempt to get the governor to not implement the decisions reached?
Well, let's talk about the protest. I just saw the video now, and it's there's no question at all that that protest could not have taken place at Government House without the approval of the governor or without his knowledge. So I think we're beginning to now see that the governor is actually listening to side talks. He's listening to all those who have been telling him that that agreement he signed was not a good agreement. So the governor obviously is he's in a very difficult position at the moment. Just a few days ago, he said, well, there's no price to pay for peace. No price is too high to pay for peace. But now you could see that he is quite hesitant in fulfilling that his own part of the bargain. Remember, the 24 or 27 lawmakers now have dropped their impeachment. But so far, as we know, the governor has not made any move at all to fulfill his own part of the bargain. And now you have these protests and demonstrations. Clearly, if you ask me, organized. There's no way this protest could happen without, as I said, the approval of the governor. So the government will definitely have a hand in it. For me, this is like the governor sending an indirect message that he might be changing his mind in spite of the fact that he signed up to that agreement. Now, let's talk about the agreement. Just as some of you have said, that some parts of the agreement need not be, even though I personally do not find any part of the agreement as not okay, in the sense that, look, let's face it, the governor was there. The elders of River State were there. There were so many people in that gathering when this agreement was reached. And the governor signed up to it. His Commissioner of Information has come out to say he did not sign at all under duress. And a day or two after, the governor made it very clear when he attended that function at the Pamo University that low price was too high to pay for peace. I mean, meaning that he clearly signed that agreement with all of his conscience, but now he's hesitant. So it's a clear, for me, it's just a clear indication that he's listening too much to what people around him are saying, and those who are asking him not to accept the agreement. But there's something he doesn't understand. Those who are asking him not to accept this agreement or to renege on the agreement, they were actually not there when the agreement was signed. Yes. The agreement was signed now. They were not there when, for instance, he had an agreement with Wike to support him to become the governor. And in fact, even for some of the elder statesmen who have actually, can you hear me well?
Yes, yes.
Go. Yeah.
So even for some of the, yes. So even for some of the elder statesmen who have actually come out, and some of those who have come out, giving him all the backings, let's tell ourselves the truth. If, for instance, they had been asked before the election, even before the primaries, if, for instance, they had been asked to put forward someone to be the candidate of the party in that state, would any of them have actually considered Fubara? None. So it's true, you may have problems with Wike. Everybody, I mean, I have a problem with him too. I may not like his style, but the truth is that, look, Fubara owes a lot to Wike. He became governor. So what the problem is between them. As we speak today, both men have actually not told us precisely what the problem is. So we do not know. But the fact is, if you have signed up to an agreement as a governor of a state in your honor, you should fulfill that agreement, because at the end of the day, look, it's peace that we want. For those who are pushing the governor to adopt to take the legal approach, you never can tell how this will pan out. Who says that that his side is going to win the legal argument at the end of the day? You never can tell how, the court would interpret some of these acts. I've heard people say, look, there's no division.
Let's talk about the defection of those 27 guys to the APC. What does the law say? And who has the right to determine that a person has lost his seat? Because we are hearing people say, oh, they have already lost their seats in the House and all that. What is the procedure? Who should actually take that decision?
Okay, now. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Did you get that?
Yes, I got that. Now, this is the point, JD. Let us look at all those. I'm not a lawyer, but let us even look at precedents. All those who were removed by virtue of their defection, by virtue of defecting from their party to other political parties, even the much celebrated case of Abegunde, how was he eventually removed? Was it not the court that removed him? It was the court that removed him. Now, in the case of these lawmakers, what we are failing to understand and what people are not looking at, they are not looking at the sequence of events. So on the 29th of October, there was an issue. The 29th of October, there was a rumor that the House was going to start an impeachment plot against the governor. And then on the 30th, the state, 29th now, the State House of Assembly was bombed. Then the lawmakers still went ahead to sit on the 29th, the full complement of the House, and they suspended 4 members. These 4 members refused to accept their suspension. They eventually had another sitting of their own, the 4 of them, at Government House, where they proclaimed one of them to be the Speaker. This factional Speaker now, went to a court. First of all, went to a federal high court. A federal high court heard the case and then reserved the ruling for January. They later went to a River State High Court now, where a judge eventually gave them an ex parte motion recognizing this individual as the Speaker of the House. On the basis of that, they now suspended. They now declared the seats of those who had defected vacant. But the question, and for me, that's the most important thing, what people have actually not been looking at it, when these 4 lawmakers were suspended and they now had their own separate sitting, did they form the quorum to have that sitting that they had? I think that's the key. So, I mean, people have been talking about Section 109G. What about the other section of the Constitution that deals with the issue of quorum? So when the 4 of them sat to choose Edison Ehie as Speaker, did they form a quorum, the 4 of them, in a 32-member House? Then even when the court, the court in Rivers State recognized Ehie as Speaker, that court did not de-recognize the other members as members of the State House of Assembly. The court did not make any pronouncement along that line. So the court did not say, these people are not members of the state, the 27 are not members of the State House of Assembly. The court simply said, look, they should not use the State House of Assembly complex to sit, because according to the court, until the House was renovated, and that they should not disturb the 4 lawmakers from sitting. And these people who defected came out to say there is division in their party. Now, am I a member of their party? No, I'm not. Their party. But the question is, if they are saying there's division in their party, then it behoves on their party now to take them to court to say, look, there is no, go and prove that there's no division in their party, in the party. So it's when the court has proven that, then the court can declare their seats vacant. So, and you even look at the second sitting where their seats were now declared vacant. The question you ask is, did the lawmakers, the 4 of them, did actually form a quorum to hold that sitting? And it's the same issue with the budget that was passed, that the River State governor presented that budget to them. Did they form a quorum out of the 32 in the House to accept that budget and then get it passed? So the issue of quorum, I think people are missing. They did not form a quorum in the first place, even to elect their own factional speaker. They did not form a quorum.
All right,
they did
Deji,
not
thank
form
you.
a quorum when they had that sitting now.
Thank you, Deji. We'll leave it there. Thank you very kindly for your time. That's Deji Bademosi, our colleague, talking about the situation in Port Harcourt. Jide, in taking this home, therefore, democracy in my country, one of the underpinning requirements for a healthy democracy is respect for rule of law.
Yes.
And over time, we have shown that we have no respect for the rule of law here. And that's why anything happens.
Some have respect for rule of law, many don't have. That's the situation. I want to see the governor and all the gladiators in Rivers State allow the law to take its course. I've been a journalist for some time. I know that the courts, is the duty of the courts to declare seats vacant.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will even give a judgment asking you to pay back all the salaries
you've earned.
Yes.
Over time.
So you now see people on the streets just saying, oh, they've lost their seat. You are not the judge now. I see some lawyers say, oh, they've lost their seats. It's still subject to interpretation. If the judge is convinced that, indeed, they had crisis in their party, of course, he's going to let them be. Some are saying today that even the national secretary position of the PDP is being contested by 2 persons. So, what do you interpret as a quarrel that can lead to people defecting from a party? So, I mean, let the law take its course. People should not take the law into their hands. We don't want to see that.
After 63 years of countryhood today, we're still going around in circles.
Because most of those people who are operating our system were deliberately insincere because of personal issues. Like they just said there, those people who are protesting, they were not there when the agreement was reached between Wike and his godson. They were not there when the president had a meeting with both parties. And they now want to twist his hand. Like I said before, that rally cannot be organized without the connivance of the the governor. And look at the mammoth crowd there. But unfortunately, people have a way of leading you ahead. Like Yobe used to say, "Ma do lo mo we ye." By the time the man is removed,
you will look back and not.
You will look back and nobody. There's no way a river can flow without forgetting its source. When you forget your source, you are going to dry up. Whether we like it or not, in all states in Nigeria today, there are people who are instrumental to somebody getting to power. And you don't get to the middle of the stream and throw away the opaju.
Okay then. It's still journalist hangout from the TVC, and this is a Friday. We're looking at issues thrown up by our country. We interrogate those issues. All right, now let's get to our next story. For Yobe State, adopting a systemic approach to ensure accessible and affordable healthcare delivery for its citizens is a task worth taking. The governor, Maimala Buni, has implemented various strategies cutting across primary, secondary, and tertiary levels, culminating in the establishment of the Senator Maman Ali Maternity and Pediatric Complex at Damaturu in the state capital, that is. The 350-bed facility is considered the largest mother and child care hospital in the country. The state is also adopting other complementary policies like the contributory health scheme and establishment of drugs and medical consumables agencies. Babajide Kolade Utitoju was in the state to assess these programs. Let's share the moments with him.
The governor of Yobe State has made no pretense of his commitment to making Yobe State healthcare delivery much better than he met it. One of the bold testaments to where Yobe State wants to be in healthcare delivery is the Senator Maman Ali Maternity and Pediatric Complex. The 350-bed mother and child care facility is the largest in the country. Work began on the project in February 2020 and is built to open in January 2024. Honorable Commissioner, the State Commissioner for Health took me around the complex, which has antenatal clinic with 18 consulting rooms, all furnished, gynecology emergency wing, attached pharmacy, waiting area where patients will get health education in their local languages before seeing their doctors, labor room where about 16 women can be delivered of their babies at the same time.
This edifice was established here for three reasons. First of all, it's about providing tertiary services to the people of the state. In the northeast, we record the highest maternal mortality and even childhood in the country. So as a result of that, while His Excellency has established primary healthcare systems in each of the wards, general hospitals in each of the local governments, and satellite specialist hospitals in each of the zones, there was need to have an apex facility where state-of-the-art tertiary services are provided for referral. So this is the first reason. The second reason is the fact that with the insurgency and the nature or disadvantaged nature of the state, there is simply need to train more manpower, and especially those that cater for women and children. We have over 40 postgraduate medical doctors globally. Some are in Kano, some are in India, in other places of the world, being trained in different specialties. So we are trying to bring these trainings here so that to save the government and then, of course, to have the manpower that we need. The third reason for establishing this facility is for research.
Yes.
Research into the problems of women and children.
The Commissioner showed me lecture theaters and offices for lecturers to train medical students and other healthcare professionals.
We have patient monitor. When you look at it behind you is the resuscitator. We have the transport incubator. If there is a problem that is beyond this place, they will put the baby in the transport incubator, and then they will convey the baby directly to the special care baby unit, which we are going to from here. For children, they have other needs in terms of operation. So the side that we have seen is solely to operate and remove a baby. Whereas on this side, other kinds of surgeries also take place.
I undertook a 3.5-hour journey to Geshua to see the Yobe State Specialist Hospital, Geshua. I was received by Dr. Stanley Okoro, Chairman Medical Advisory Committee of the hospital, who doubles as his Deputy Medical Director. I was taken to the Chemical Pathology Unit as well as the Hematology Unit.
This is our blood bank where we keep our blood for transfusion activities. But before doing that, we have to go for a series of serological tests, screening of the patient, likewise the donor, before we reach to the level of taking the sample.
From here, I moved to the hospital's Special Care Baby Unit. The design of this unit is similar to that of Mama and Ali Maternal and Child Care Complex. It is double-walled and 1.5 meters deep. The design is the brainchild of a Nigerian biomedical engineer who is a visiting professor at the Imperial College in London, Professor Hippolyte Amadi, winner of the 2023 Nigeria Science Prize. He is noted for development of engineering tools to support newborn babies, giving them a much greater chance of survival, especially against a condition called evening fever during the months of April and June, months of intense heat when the ambient temperature is usually between 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. Here, there are modern equipment like newborn resuscitators, phototherapy machines to treat jaundice in children and prevent brain damage, radiant warmers, incubators, and transport incubators. The ward manager, staff nurse Bukar Tijani, showed me the inborn section of the Special Care Baby Complex. Dr. Musa Abubakar, the Kampala International University Uganda-trained medical officer, threw some light on the treatment the children get here.
Those who come from very far, maybe those, I don't want to mention any ethnicity anyway, maybe those Fulani babies, they usually stay in the bush. So they'll take maybe 2-3 days, the baby will be having seizures, and they'll come when the baby is already very sick.
So weak.
Those are the ones that we usually lose. But babies that come straight from the demo, most of them do well.
Back in Damaturu, I visited the Yobe State University Teaching Hospital. I was received into the 7-year-old hospital by Chief Medical Director, Dr. Baba Warugoni, an infectious disease and immunology expert.
Yes. Which is originally a 250-bed capacity.
The hospital has good radiology unit, immunology unit, microbiology and parasitology, mammography, X-ray machines that help to treat breast cancer in women, digital X-ray, laboratory unit, chemical hematology and blood transfusion unit, 164-slide CT scanning machine. I got an opportunity to see the MRI machine, the only functional MRI machine in the northeast of Nigeria.
Process. This patient came from Maiduguri or here?
This one is from here.
From here, okay. Is it for the spine?
No, for pelvic.
In the laboratory unit of the 250-bed hospital, Babaza Olarema speaks of his joy at working here with European standard equipment that quickens the pace of work.
Not only working with the state-of-the-art equipment, but all our results are being sent to the physician electronically. So as we are running the sample, we are sending it. You can see we are using our own system. There are other systems that have been allocated to each unit
As you are going, you can as well upload your results. You are running, you are uploading, you are running, you are uploading, so that there is
real time.
Real time, yes.
So
The waiting time has been reduced. The turnaround time has been reduced to the barest minimum now.
The hospital offers free dialysis services with about 400 sessions per month. Amen. Amen. Both Governor Mai Mala Buni and Dr. Goni explain why the state has decided to make treatment of kidney-related ailments free.
Take it as a duty to ensure that our citizens access free dialysis. So this is what we are going to pay monthly. This is something doable. Now that we are partnering with Creek Institute, they are ready to help us to actually take over the research of the causes of this kidney problem.
We do more than 250 sessions of dialysis in a month, and it's free. His Excellency, has approved a standing payment in which dialysis consumables are purchased, and people with chronic kidney failure can access dialysis at no cost. And to back it off, even AV fistula operations that are done on the arm in order to provide easy access to the blood vessels in the body, called AV fistula, is done free of charge. An operation that can cost between 150 to 250,000 elsewhere is done free of charge here.
Here in Yobe State, there is free antenatal care up to childbirth, cesarean section, a surgical operation for delivering a child, which is very expensive in Nigeria, is actually free in Yobe State. Children under 5 years are treated free of charge here, just as accident victims get treated for free for the first 48 hours. Dr. Goni throws more light on the capacity of the hospital.
Common B. Ali Maternal and Pediatric Health Complex, 200-bed capacity isolation ward, a modern A&E, dialysis unit, and even a new laboratory complex in the hospital. And then we have state-of-the-art equipment, such as a 1.5 Tesla MRI machine. We also have 164-slide CT scanner. We have digital X-rays, 3 and 4D ultrasound machines. We have mobile X-rays, and then we have a mammography machine for screening for breast cancer, which is none of its type in the region. In the cardiology lab, we have equipment like echocardiography machine, 24-hour Holter monitoring, ECG, 24-hour ambulatory blood pressure monitoring, the routine ECGs that we have, and what have you. We can also do some tests, neurophysiologic tests like EEG, EMG, and nerve conduction studies here.
The CMD speaks on the electronic health record system, improving the capacity of the health record staff and the desire to go paperless and become more transparent.
We are almost going paperless now. The doctor can access the patient record electronically on a computer. And the good thing about the electronic record is that it has even the administrative and financial aspect, because you will know how much you are generating, you will know the cadre of workers, you can even calculate the man hours.
One key strategy that the Governor, Honorable Mai Mala Buni, has adopted to ensure that healthcare services are brought to the door of the average Yobe State resident is the construction of primary health centers in the 178 political wards of the state.
We have so far established 140 out of 178. We have already completed 140. This is a policy that is working so far, and we are determined to finish the remaining ones.
Dr. Babagana Kundia Machina is the Executive Secretary, Yobe State Primary Health Care Development Board. He took me around a typical primary health center in Gwange, Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. Dr. Machina threw some light on the governor's determination to develop the primary health centers as a means of improving access to health care in the state.
We should have additional 109 facilities that will make it 287 standard and functional primary care centers across the state, which are to be sited strategically based on the population density of the areas and the landmass and the disbursement of the settlements, to ensure that nobody will need to travel more than 30 minutes to reach any PSC, a standard PSC center.
The presence of PSCs in remote areas of the state has helped address the big problem of maternal mortality.
These investments are beginning to yield results. Just recently, the National Primary Care Development Agency released an assessment that they have done of the RAMCA scorecard, which is the reproductive, maternal, newborn, adolescent, and child health and nutrition. They did that scorecard, and Yobe State was adjudged to be the third most improved state in terms of reproductive, maternal and child health services in the country, after Sokoto and Niger states.
Dr. Babagana Tijani, a former personal physician to Governor Mai Malabuni, is the executive secretary of the newly created Yobe State Contributory Health Care Management Agency. The alumnus of the University of Maiduguri and the University of South Wales says Governor Bune believes every resident of the state must have access to Medicare without going through hardship. The state contributes 60% of the fund. 190,000 people are already captured as enrollees.
And to also ensure that the use of these services do not expose the individual into any form of financial hardship. In addition, it is also an alternative source of funding for our healthcare providers across the state.
The government is acutely aware that to keep its hospitals going and to make healthcare services available, it needs an alternative source of funding. But what has the governor done differently to make the Yobe State Contributory Healthcare Scheme a success and a national model?
Some said that even started this formal structure program, they rely only on employees' contribution of purely 5% employees contributing to the scheme. But in Yobe, 60% of the contribution, as I earlier mentioned, comes from the state government.
But what is the point in building great health institutions without defeating the out-of-stock syndrome? To ensure constant supply of drugs in its hospitals, Governor Mai Malabuni set up the Yobe State Drugs and Medical Consumables Management Agency. It is headed by Dr. Abdulaziz Garba Mohammed.
The government felt that we need to have a system that would ensure the quality and affordability of drugs that are going to the populace in Yobe State. And that is the mandate of the agency, to ensure that all drugs that are going to the facilities, public health facilities in Yobe State, are qualitative and affordable to the people of the state.
The agency has zonal warehouses in Potiskum, Unguru, and Geshua to ensure that at all times drugs reach the health centers spread across the state. I was afforded the opportunity to move into the inner recesses of the central medical stores to see things for myself. I'm right here at the Central Medical Store in Damaturu, Yobe State, under the Yobe State Drugs and Medical Consumables Management Agency. Behind me, you see hundreds of cartons of drugs. These cartons of drugs have been procured for use in primary, secondary, and tertiary medical institutions across Yobe State. The governor of Yobe State has decided that in all the political wards, 178 of them, there must be primary health centers. And these primary health centers are stocked with the drugs that they need. Today, all the tertiary medical institutions, as well as the primary and secondary health institutions in Yobe State, have sufficient drugs to cater to the hundreds of patients that they receive on a daily basis. From 1 Million Road, Bindigari community of Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, Babajide Kolade Otitoju, TVC News. The governor of Yobe State.
Okay. Tunde, Jide has the story, but I'd rather you reacted.
Well, I just believe that, see, this is a good idea to copy by our southern governors. When you have program that is in the heart of the people, if anybody attends any of this facility, there's no way you will not be grateful that you are a citizen of that state and have a sense of belonging to that state, because that state has empathy for you. So things like this should be extended to our brother governors in the southern part of Nigeria, especially Southwest.
They'll borrow a leaf.
The cesarean is free in Yobe State. Dialysis is free. Accident victims are treated free of charge for the first 48 hours. And for the first year to 5 years, children are treated free. Antenatal is also free. The biggest child care hospital in our country, 350 bed, is in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital.
All right.
If I didn't see these things myself, I would be one of those who say, "Oh, those governors are not working." I saw those things by myself. So we really need to work hard. I think some of our governors in the north are doing.
They are blazing the trail.
Yes, and there's a lot that they can learn in terms of even the contributory fund, health fund.
Yeah.
So that more people can access healthcare.
All right, gentlemen, we must go. Time is the master. But let's thank you. Also, on behalf of the Backroom Boys, we're saying have yourself a Merry Christmas. That will be all on Journalist Hangout this week. You may watch a repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. But join us on Sunday for a fresh one from 1:30 to 3:30. And then, of course, to remind you, we are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.
Roll up, roll up. Let's go. Welcome to DSTV Land, the most awesomest place to spend your holidays.
Suffering succotash.
There's loads to explore with something for everyone.
Amazing.
All the best shows.
Wow.
All the best buzz.
It is pretty great.
So don't miss out and let the holiday fun begin.
It's a blast.
Only on DSTV.
Brace yourselves for the epic return of the Beer With Us Festival. Join us on December 27, 2023 at Landmark Beach, Oniru, Lagos, Nigeria from 5 p.m., promising a night of unforgettable celebration. We're excited to announce Davido as our headliner for this edition. Brace yourself for Davido, along with a lineup of the hottest artists, promising a night of sensational performances. Proudly brought to you by Achievers Entertainment Limited. Don't miss your chance. Get your tickets now at www.beerwithusfest.com and on the Landmark Citizens app. For table reservations, sponsorships, or partnerships, reach out to us at 0806 060 5050 or 0705 448 3191 or drop us an email at achieversevents@gmail.com. Our team is ready to assist you. Let's celebrate life, friendship, and greatness.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1-horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The SportX treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit anywhere in the house. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining the gym can cost an absolute fortune, and you could be paying up to 600,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the SportX treadmill to save the cost and work out from the convenience of your home. You could pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this, but you can get the SportX treadmill for not 400,000 naira, not even 300,000 naira. Order right now and get this for just 294,500 naira only. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sport X Digital Compact Treadmill delivered to you for free, wherever you are in Nigeria. The Sport X Compact Digital Treadmill comes with ShopX 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied with the treadmill, send it back for a full refund. But hurry, limited stock available. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Well, it's 3 days to Christmas, and Nigerians may possibly celebrate the Yuletide without enough cash. What a way to celebrate. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the program. I am Abosedi Adeniro Aderemi. You can join the conversation now on X, formerly Twitter, using the hashtag Beyond 100 Days and at TVC News NG. As we kick off the program today, President Bola Tinubu says he will always be fair to all Nigerians, and that his administration remains committed to advancing the unity of Nigeria, as well as ensuring the welfare and prosperity of all citizens. Speaking at the Ansarudeen Central Mosque in Surulere, Lagos on Friday, the president said the economic reforms initiated by his government are aimed at establishing a robust and secure foundation for Nigerians today and for generations unborn. Well, the president, yes, he arrived Lagos on Thursday, and he has now made that pledge to Nigerians. Well, that's
an August visitor in December. President Bola Tinubu is expected to observe his Jumat prayer in the area. For residents, this is rare, as Joint Security Force mounted strategic points with sniffer dogs at work. Accompanied by the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Obafemi Hamzat, President Tinubu is using the Jumat prayer to felicitate with the Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria's centenary celebrations. Mr. President pleaded for patience on Nigerians when he spoke to the congregation in his local dialect. Chief Missioner of Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria and overseas, Sheikh Abdulrahman Ahmad, said the organization has played a critical role in shaping the society, hence the need for government support.
What we are telling governments is that they should support faith-based organizations that are, supplementing their efforts in providing education for all. And the Ansarudeen, for instance, founded on the 21st of December 1923. It has been providing education, quality education at that. It has been contributing to the human capital development of this country. And you cannot leave such organizations alone to go it alone. They need support, not assistance.
The president is in Lagos for the Yuletide holiday.
It's been 100 years that the Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria was founded in Lagos. The Islamic organization was established to propagate conventional education among Muslims during the colonial era. Adedoja Salam Adeniyi, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, let's now talk about the economy. The scarcity of Naira is raising concerns among many. But could it be a blessing in disguise? I mean, for those who are not willing to share in order to save for the new year? Or could it just be a season cash crunch for those who are ready for the razzmatazz of the season? But in all of this, the Central Bank of Nigeria is not keeping quiet on this matter. It has warned deposit money banks and point-of-sales operators over their ignoble roles and collusion in making the Naira appear scarce and unavailable for seamless business transactions in the country. The Apex Bank said it is currently investigating the roles of the banks and their POS collaborators and would sanction anyone found wanting. In a press statement issued by the Director Corporate Communications of the CBN, Sidi Ali Hakama, the Apex Bank enjoined members of the public to use alternative payment channels as well as report any case of unauthorized activities such as capping and hoarding of cash by banks or POS agents. Well, let's now bring in CEO Economic Associate Dr. Ayo Teriba, who joins us on the program for more on this. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Teriba. Well, it's 3 days to Christmas. Let's begin with what your experience has been with cash. Have you been able to make withdrawals, or are you on strictly cashless mode?
Well, good evening. And, well, it's a pleasure to be here. And a bit worried that we are back to this point again, where we are discussing inadequate availability of cash, of Naira notes. It's not a pleasant reminder of what the country went through this time last year and at the beginning of this year. 2023, ironically, is the 50th anniversary of Naira notes and coins that were originally introduced in January 1973. So we should actually be celebrating the Naira, commemorating, issuing commemorative, denominations to, but here we are. The currency notes are taking the governors, some governors and the president to the Supreme Court. The central bank dragged along, and it took the Supreme Court's intervention to stop the currency, the infamous currency redesign program. And the Supreme Court had extended the lives of the existing Naira notes until now, until December. And here we are, a few days, less than 10 days to the end of December. The CBN has since been to the Supreme Court to ask that the extension not terminate on December 31, that it be extended indefinitely, admitting their own inability to print enough of the redesigned notes. So, and that's the crux of the matter. That the Central Bank of Nigeria has put more notes in circulation than it could print when they are withdrawn and they need to be replaced, which will inevitably happen. Currency notes don't circulate forever, particularly the low denomination currency notes that we put in circulation. The highest denomination note is $1, and that denomination is required for almost every retail transaction imaginable.
But Dr. Teriba,
and so they are short-lived. So you need to bring more to replace them. Yes.
Okay, I get your point, Dr. Teriba, but as it is, the CBN does believe that there is some level of collusion between deposit money banks and POS operators, and that's the reason for the scarcity. Do you agree with them?
It is a fact, which they have admitted at the Supreme Court, that they have not been able to print enough notes. So why are you blaming banks or blaming people? There is not enough. There is not enough to go around. So you won't find, if people get to ATM, there will be no cash in ATM. So let's the CBN not pass the buck. You have a currency operations department that should manage currency notes and is not living up, to the necessary standards in currency management. You have more than 10 billion pieces of Naira notes circulating. The CBN's capacity to print is not up to 500 million pieces a year. So you have more Naira notes in circulation than the CBN has the capacity to print. Remember, you buy paper and ink from the same market from which the American government and the British government buy paper and ink. To change $100 notes you get one note of $100 bill, and you need at least 1,000 Naira notes or 1,100 Naira notes in exchange for one piece. And it will cost us money to print it. So let's not try and give excuses. There is not enough currency notes to go around. That is the bitter truth.
All right, and then
you cannot print. You cannot print enough of these small denomination notes. The last time the reform was undertaken was under the Obasanjo regime. The highest note then was 50 Naira.
But why is it difficult, Dr. Teriba? Why is it difficult to print enough to go around?
No country in the world will be able to print multiples of $1 currency as notes. There's most sensible countries in the world. That's not a note, that's a coin. The minimum coin in note in the UK is £5. And that's, £5. So you shouldn't be printing 1,000 Naira notes. You should be printing 2,000 Naira, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000.
Well, I was going to get to that. I was going to get to that because you wrote a piece in March. Yes. You wrote a piece in March where you addressed that, and you made a case for the federal government to actually introduce 2,000 Naira, 5,000 Naira, 10,000 and 20,000 Naira notes. So why exactly did you make that call, and what has been the level of acceptability of that advocacy?
If your printing capacity is less than 500 million notes, you should raise the value. If you want to pay somebody 100,000 now, will you write 1,000 checks, putting 1,000 Naira on each? If it doesn't make sense for you to do that, it doesn't make sense for the central bank to be printing a maximum denomination that when the Naira was introduced in 1973, the highest denomination was $15. 10 Naira was $15. We introduced the 20 Naira notes. It was $30 upon introduction. The people who designed the Naira never envisaged the time where the highest denomination will be $1. So central bank should do the sensible thing. If you are printing reasonable values on notes with your 500 million printing capacity, it will go around the country. I don't need to count 50 pieces of notes just to pay for fuel, or count 50 pieces of notes just to pay for a bag of rice, which is what we are doing. Is a waste of time. And you are now charging people for processing cash in the banks. It's very wrong. So basically, let's face it, that currency denominations must speak to retail items. All the notes, all the coins that we have now has been demonetized, not officially, but they're not relevant to any retail item anymore. Even sweets are sold as so many, for 10 Naira or so many for 100 Naira.
So, if within 50 years, Dr. Teriba, if within 50 years, so much has happened to the Nigerian currency, and now you are making a case for new notes with higher face value, what is the guarantee that in the next few years, down the line, we wouldn't be experiencing the same, and then we might have to just print something, a note that is carrying about 50,000 or higher than that?
We didn't invent currency notes. This is something we learned from other parts of the world. In countries, in Europe, in the US, you have the $1,000 note. It's just not in circulation. You have the 5,000 pound note. It's just not in circulation. So when they created it in 1973, it should have been a template, that goes up to 10,000, that, imagine, and you should just be, moving it up. If inflation or exchange rate improves, you move back. We've seen 500 note was introduced in Europe at inception. They phased it out. They've withdrawn it from circulation because it's unreasonable, to hold it for any retail transaction. So they are back to €100, just like $100. So it's a flexible thing. If you have outgrown your clothes, You don't debate, oh, okay, what happens if I grow it in future? You cut your clothes according to the current size that you are. If you lose weight, you trim again. If you gain more weight, you sew new ones. So that's it. I mean, money is like a pool, is a measuring rod of value, and it must be reasonably longer than any conceivable retail value. So we are failing, to manage the currency. Other countries are doing better than us. Japan has a $50 equivalent yen note. Korea has a $40 equivalent yen note. We are saying people should explore alternatives. Are we going to overtake or catch up with Japan in electronic payments? Yet they don't neglect the efficiency of their currency management. What do you have a currency management department in the central bank for? If they're failing to manage currency, they are awarding contracts to print worthless notes, wasting Nigeria's money. So if you want it to be money, shut down the currency operations department. You can't have a currency operations department headed by a director that cannot manage currency. It's an insult, on Nigeria. And that's how they mismanage the currency design. And I wrote this piece in March, say yes, CBN has suspended it, but December will come. And ahead of December, we should have done these suggestions, not wait until now.
All right, Dr. Teriba, let's take a moment. When we come back, Dr. Teriba, in just a moment, we'll continue this conversation. Please stay with us.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear
Many thanks for staying with us. We have been speaking with Dr. Aya Teriba, who's CEO, Economic Associate, and we're talking about the issue of cash crunch, looming cash crunch, because of the complaints coming from different Nigerians. Dr. Teriba, you have been making a case for, new notes with higher values. But then, just as I asked earlier, what the guarantee would be that, it would make considerable difference, or if the option should then be having a new kind of currency. Do you think that could work in any way?
Managing a currency that was introduced in 1973 with a maximum value of 10 naira. 10 naira at the time was $15. We have managed it to the point that we have been increasing the marginal value, the maximum value, to 20, to 50, to 100, 200, 500, 1,000. And that 1,000 came in 2005, nearly 20 years ago. Do the sensible thing. Continue the progress that Nigeria has been making since Naira was introduced. Don't let Naira get stuck at 1,000 Naira, which is now $1. Create the equivalent of a $5 note, $10 note, $20, $50. So you speak to retail transactions. I could fill there was a time I could fill my tank with 2 Naira or with 5 Naira. Right now, to fill your tank, you have to spend 40 Naira. Where is that 40,000 Naira note? You now buy a bag of rice. You used to buy a bag of rice maybe for £1, for 2 Naira, for 3 Naira. Okay, you now have to pay 50,000. Let currency speak to it. Currency is a means of payment, and you cannot be stagnant when retail prices are growing. If retail prices come down in future, you readjust. That's the point that I'm making, and that's what other countries do. You travel to all other countries, you still have items priced to the cent, to the penny. You get your penny change. Not that everything that you have to pay for must be in the note, because we have failed to increase the face value of the coins.
Well, let's talk about another aspect of the economy.
You are trying to blame market women, blame banks, blame retail. What did you say, please?
All right, let's look at another aspect of the economy. In the midst of all of this, and especially based on the impact that the removal of fuel of subsidy on petrol is actually having on people. The federal government for this period has announced a 50% slash on bus fares and a free train ride. It should be for 15 days and it's kicked off on Thursday. First, what's your assessment of the initiative and the impact it would actually have?
Well, the whole idea is, that the government is showing that they are sensitive, to, of course, the hardships that Nigerians are facing in the immediate aftermath of recent currency reforms, and that they would like to subsidize, a key component of where the shoe pinches them, by subsidizing transportation, fares for travel. And I see no reason why that should not be a welcome development. Everything you do to improve the welfare of the populace, particularly the most vulnerable in the populace, who, will have to travel by road or by rail, it should be welcome.
And earlier you were talking about, how much it took you to fuel your tank some time ago. Now the federal government has announced that the Port Harcourt refinery will actually commence operations in January. Do you see this influence price and availability of petroleum products in the country?
Well, from what I hear the GMD of NNPC say, he says that it's not just the Port Harcourt refineries 1 and 2 that will soon commence operation, that the Warri refinery will also soon be back to operations, and that Kaduna refinery will also be back into operations. One of the things that labor has been demanding, that part of the hardships we all Nigerians face is because we can't refine in spite of the fact that we produce crude. So if the government, the NNPC delivers on its promise to see the refineries, commencing operations after many years of being inoperative, starting with the Port Harcourt 1 and 2, but not limited to that, Warri and Kaduna 2 become operational, it should bring huge relief, to Nigerians. If only because the cost of shipping crude from other countries, clearing the subsidy calculations have been included things like landing costs, clearing and the rest of it. So if only because there is no transport, cost is going to be incurred. And the increased supply should mean reduced price. Increased availability should mean reduced price. Not just for PMS, but also for diesel and kerosene. So I do think it's welcome news. And that's the incomplete part of the subsidy debate, when you are talking about should we remove subsidy or should we not remove subsidy. The debate should be, how soon can you make our own refineries work? And then the whole thing about the hefty exchange rates that you have to, foreign exchange that you have to waste on going to import something that you can refine locally. So it's going to be relief on the foreign exchange market. Is going to be a relief, for Nigerians.
All right.
So it's good news. There's nothing to qualify about it if they deliver. And if we don't get back into the dark days in which they say it's been sabotaged, they are broken down again, etc. Other countries run refineries without having any incident of breakdown.
So perhaps what is necessary, Dr. Teriba, is that, we just go with some level of optimism. And of course, there would also be that call on Nigerians to be patriotic in the midst of all of this, to make it work. So sabotage doesn't come into it. And, we have a system that's very operational. All right, then. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. CEO, Economic Associates, Dr. Ayateriba. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you.
Well, that's our program today. Watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. Oh, the next time we're back on the program, it will be on Christmas Day. So do have a very wonderful weekend.
Roll up. Let's go. Welcome to DSTV Land, the most awesomest place to spend your holidays.
Suffering succotash.
There's loads to explore with something for everyone.
Amazing.
All the best shows.
Wow.
All the best buzz.
It is pretty great.
So don't miss out and let the holiday fun begin.
It's a blast.
Only on DSTV.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Do you struggle with having an active and healthy lifestyle due to your busy schedule? Do you find it difficult to make it to the gym? You want to improve your overall health, but don't know where and how to start? Medical experts agree that walking, running, and jogging are amongst the best ways to stay fit and enjoy a great active and healthy lifestyle. What if there was a convenient and affordable way to improve your health, improve your mood, and lose weight right in your own home? Introducing the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill, the compact foldable treadmill that makes being active and losing weight fast and easy. Just unfold it and walk, jog, or run while you watch your favorite programs on TV. And when you're done, just fold it and store it away. Now that's convenience. The secret is its advanced design that houses a 1 horsepower motor that is twice the size of most treadmills, packed into a nice compact unit, powering every step you take. You get the SportX Digital Compact Treadmill System complete with a rugged commercial-grade ultra-durable traction belt, large LCD multifunctional display that displays speed, time, distance, calories, and has 12 different exercise programs, as well as a magnetic safety key for added security.
The SportX treadmill has really helped me get back in shape after childbirth. I love it because it's compact and can fit anywhere in the house. And when I'm done, I fold and put it away. Easy peasy.
This is the best piece of equipment for people like me who want to stay active without leaving the home. I simply unfold it and use it while I watch my favorite program on TV.
Joining the gym can cost an absolute fortune, and you could be paying up to 600,000 naira in annual gym fees. Get the SportX treadmill to save the cost and work out from the convenience of your home. You could pay 500,000 naira for a treadmill like this, but you can get the SportX treadmill for not 400,000 naira, not even 300,000 naira. Order right now and
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Here's my banner there.
You have a banner?
Nah, yeah. Commander morning! Commander morning! Nijani!
This is Dimakatso, the voice on the end of the phone just now, and one of Zandile's loyal foot soldiers.
Uti, why did you put the banner here? I always put the banner there. Why? Uti, whoever, lama foreigners are saying is alana. Oh. Yeah, they must know Uti Tutula is here.
So this is to keep them away?
Yes. This place is full of foreigners, which is not fair, really. This is their country. I cook for the students. This is where I cook. This is the cafeteria.
Okay.
Yes. These are the students.
Okay.
Okay.
We are in Dimakatso's kitchen where she works out of.
she caters for the cafeteria here at this college, but she also cooks meals for young people who are living on the streets and are also living with drug addiction.
So I'm doing chips now. Some of those kids now who are on the streets, it's not by their choices that they want to be on the streets. Most of them, they've got qualifications. They can't get jobs. They are frustrated, actually. So thus they decided to smoke. I feel for them because my own child is also an engineer and he's a drug addict. He started smoking drugs when he was 14 years old. He got injured while he was on the streets. This is when he got banned.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What happened?
He said because he didn't have something to eat or to smoke, actually. Then he went out and he went and stole cable. Then not knowing that by that time the power is coming back, that's when the power struck him. And this is him.
Do you know what exactly he's smoking?
He said he smokes, what is it? Is it crystal? He said it's crystal, nyaupe, dacha, whatever that he gets, that's him.
I'm so sorry.
Because he wasn't born like this. And he is an intelligent somebody, you know. Then I don't know what went wrong. Then to tell you the truth, I hate foreigners. I hate foreigners and the government is doing nothing. Being a single mother, seeing your son like this, I hate foreigners. How I wish they can just pick and go and leave our country. Let's just leave our country. Our kids have turned into zombies. It's all because of them.
But I'm wondering why, you know, you said you hate foreigners.
Most of them are selling drugs. You can ask my son, he will tell you. I'm thankful to Tutula, because Tutula that's the only thing that keeps me going.
Why?
With Operation Tutula, I have hope. So they're here, ne? These boys. What's on, boys? What's on? Not good.
This is where Dimakato hands out food, just a few meters away from the high street.
Okay, now
Understandably, no one wishes to be on camera.
Hi, small change. I come in na yogurla. Seven right ne.
Right, ma'am.
Okay, sharp. Sure. Hi. Okay, sharp. Open my chips.
You don't think that the powerful people will still find ways to peddle drugs in our communities, even without the people you consider to be the enemy or the cause for it?
Yeah. They will, but it won't be like this. You know, it's like everyone can sell drugs, like peanuts. It's like everyone, whoever wants to go and buy drugs and sell it to these kids. Really, this is too much. These people need to go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, I am sure. They will go. Make no mistake. There are ways to make them go. So they will go. They will not just go, they will run away.
But from what I've seen, it's often the most vulnerable who are being scapegoated.
In 500 meters, turn left.
South Africans are struggling through an economic crisis. Blackouts are a daily occurrence. Unemployment is at 33%. It's even worse in the townships. And that's a source of tension. In a township called Alexandra in the north of Johannesburg, known for its inequality, like the many other symbols of inequality in this country. But what's particular about Alex is that it's a stone throw away from Sandton City, which is the richest square mile in Africa. I've come to meet Babsabelo. In 2019, he was forced from his home by a group calling itself Dudula.
Bavele bafika kuyi Friday. Ngizwe umntwana uthi baba laba abantu bafikile. Bathe uqoqa into zakho nje kusasa nje. Indaba yakho ayisekho.
Did they say why?
But I'm a foreigner.
How did you know they were Operation Dudula when they came to you?
They told me that they're Operation Dudula. They were coming at any time, night, daylight. They were looking for papers.
Dudula in Alexandra is a distinct entity, completely separate from the organization I'd already met with. But the tactics and the rhetoric are similar.
Angathi namaphoyisa laba bantu baphethe nepa. They are well armed. Saya namaphoyisa bashela bathi laba bantu ba-amile. Ba well armed. Ningalinge nithi uthatha ama chance bazonibulala.
So what do you do in that situation?
Ayikho into ozoyenza ngoba angithi ufuze ubalekele emaphoyiseni. Manje amaphoyisa makuyiwona webasaba. Mina bangishela amaphoyisa bathayi.
Babsabelo is now living in this shack, trying to bring up a family. He's a South African citizen, and he still has to prove it. And this is evidence that you were born here?
Yeah. Angathi nangu baba wami uJames nangu from Rhodesia.
You're saying your mother is South African?
Yeah.
You were born in Netherlands?
Yeah.
And your father?
Is a Rhodesian.
It was from Rhodesia?
Yeah. Uyazi kube sengathi mawuhamba ungathi awuqoka. Yeah, uyibona ukuthi how inferior you are. Uyibona ukuthi useless. Kube kungaphezulu kwamandla akho. Yabona.
Mawusithi uhambe ungathi awuqokile, can you explain that what that means?
Ngisho ukuthi uyibona ukuthi awuna value. Awuyena ubaba enough. Angithi baba ufuza protect abantu abakhe. But if manje kuzofika amanye amadoda abafike benze noma yini. Uyabona ilungelo lakho lokubaba alisekho. Alisekho. Alisekho.
It didn't matter that Babsabelo had spent all his adult life in South Africa, that his mother is South African. In the eyes of Dudula, he's different, and he has to be forced out.
Lentwana de nyaupe. Ntwana nyaupe ipi. Ngicela umandla abantu babhizi bafunana naye ngithi then simelele intelligence. But umandla uhlele la. Umandla uthini? Uyifonele la uthi khathi. Prince kwala kolo
First, I think we really need to interrogate this further.
A so-called Dudula task force is planning a raid on a suspected drug dealer who's accused of selling nyaupe, a deadly cocktail of drugs that's destroying communities across South Africa.
And I think in that 30 minutes space, so he's gonna go back and buy, whilst we strategically position ourselves somewhere.
That's what we were thinking. He's going to buy, then he leave the premises and the area. Then after that, we just go there, we attack.
But what he would have bought this morning.
They say they've been gathering evidence from a local whistleblower.
Give it enough time.
We didn't talk on WhatsApp, actually.
Evidence they plan to give to a policeman they're expecting to arrive shortly.
I'm concerned about the time frame. It will still go back and implicate him. Chances are, these people are very clever also. They can be brutally dangerous.
What they told me next was shocking. What's been happening? What's gone wrong?
Yeah, before we had no drugs like we've got now. We know what is wrong, we know what is right. We grew up in an apartheid time where things were much better than what it is now.
How were things better under apartheid?
The law was the law. But now, the way things are happening, the government is failing us in law.
South Africa needs to go back to the old South Africa that we know. Our fathers are the ones who started Lentozama tuck shops. But today, those tuck shops, all of them, it's only foreigners, especially Bangladeshis, Somalia, and Ethiopians. Why?
It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
If they want to address, they must come here. We will take them to the place.
We're still waiting here for this policeman that this Operation Dudula Task Force claims has been working with them, but he has been about an hour late, and it looks like he may not come. So they're about to discuss what to do next.
I think we're gonna call it off.
Even today, before you came, there's a lady who came here with a case that she reported it. If you don't mind, we might as well tackle it. There's an illegal immigrant who's doing a business. That guy doesn't want to pay rent anymore. So those are the things maybe you might as well like to have as proof of whatever that we are doing on the ground.
Well, we're not asking you to do anything. We're just here to...
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not... Please don't set anything up for us to see. The team is going to confront a local shopkeeper who they say is in a dispute with his landlady over rent. But they only have the landlady's word for it. So what are you going to do?
We need to engage with him. That's what we do normally. Then we'll take measures whereby to call the relevant department to come and evict him. Take this side, take this side.
Are people scared of you?
Not exactly scared, but they respect us because they know we're going to confront them. Most of them, they know this truck is Operation Dudula truck. So whenever they see the truck, everyone disperse.
Having identified their target, the team moves in.
See Operation Dudula tonight. Ne? As Operation Dudula. Yeah. Usisi landlord ela ngithi. So she came to us azositshela ukuthi there's a problem la eCharity. Since no problem you pay rent and then mawuceda nasebathi kuye ngcono hambe and then we are refusing.
Do you have a relevant document to be here in South Africa?
Yeah. Passport. Mamela, where's the papers of this business? Bring the papers, put the papers here, and we'll talk.
Document ukuthi ube la wena amaphepha ukuthi usebenza la South Africa now.
You don't have to
tshela passport issued yovakasha maqeda melo hamba ubile.
Yabona thina mawudelela siyakushaya. Uyasidelela. Nimnikeza isikhathi esingakanani?
So it was supposed to be a negotiation, and the first step towards an amicable resolution has now descended into a confrontation and a screaming match.
Sinikeza 21 days alibela run business yakhe and then maqeda aphume. Ifavor le.
The shopkeeper is forced to sign an agreement giving him 2 months to leave the premises.
This is Vigilante.
This one?
This.
No.
You're not a judge,
Yeah.
you're not a policeman, you're not a lawyer, but you just try to hold a hearing.
Since you intervened, you made sure there's a peace. There's a contract that I signed so that you keep your business, I keep my house. When a certain time comes, and then you leave my place.
Well, you threatened him and you didn't really give him a real option. You didn't listen to his side of the story. I was there, I saw it.
Yeah.
He didn't get to fully explain. He tried to explain to you that he's unable to leave now. He doesn't have the money.
You know what pushed us to do that? Which is not a crime. Which is not a crime. I said to him, we have documents to be here.
What gives you the right for that?
I'm a citizen. I'm legally here. I'm a citizen. I have my license. I have my ID. I have everything.
But you're not an officer of the court. You don't work for immigration.
You're not vigilante. He is illegally here. If he was not here, we wouldn't never have this problem.
They're celebrating a job well done. But a shopkeeper with a young family to support has just lost his livelihood. These videos were posted on a pro-Dudula website in June, and they appear to show more attacks on business owners.
We are South Africa. Askis, Kuluman. Uban is not a South African. He's South African.
These are markets in Deep Kloof and Soweto.
Namo! Hey, Wazala, Mozambiquans, go home.
Okay, here's my shop. Good morning. How are you?
Okay.
I'm at work.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm at work.
Oh, that's good.
Later. Those are my besties.
You have besties on every corner.
Yeah, it's better this side.
I've come back to meet Annie.
Hi, Morris.
How do you know her?
This is a mama for this street. Mama for us, yes. Yeah, mama for us. Any problem? Oh, mama, she's here with us.
Yeah.
She's here to us. Anything, any case we have, we go straight to him.
Can I ask where you're from?
From Senegal.
Senegal. And how long have you been here?
I've been in right now like 9 years now.
9 years, yeah. And have you experienced any violence on the streets from Operation Dudula?
Yeah, every time they come, we close, we go home.
Really?
Yeah.
When Dudula comes here and they shut you down, you lose so much business.
You need to close because you hear they are coming. When you lose a staff, you lose your staff. No one will replace your staff. Yeah.
But then you lose money.
You lose money. Yeah. Regarding business, you lose a day. It's part of life. But when you lose a staff,
Hello. How are you? Morning. This is my neighbor. This is my space. Please come in. You can see all these water bottles standing over here. During hot days, I will take these 5-liter bottles and I'll just distribute it on the streets for the street vendors because they never have water.
How long have you been doing this?
For a long time. My motto is, you are first human, and then you're African, and then you can call me whatever you want to call me.
A lot of people feel like it's a luxury to be able to think that way, right? This Pan-African idea that we're all human because they feel like they're suffering. There's not enough resources, so it's time for people to go back to where they come from and have their own,
These people came here with survival skills. So why is it that South Africans don't know what survival skills are? Stop sitting and complaining and stop sitting and dying in that corner and waiting for a government that is failing you on a daily basis. They basically failing us on a daily basis.
Do you think it's fair to say that?
They would rather go to the most vulnerable and attack them. The migrants, they are the poorest of the poor. And they are vulnerable. They'd rather go to them and rattle them instead of rattling the cages of the guys living in the glass houses.
Yeah, Pum. Aiko tight. Aiko.
It's a big day for Zandile and Operation Dudula, the movement she helped to found.
No, but if you want to operation, then call me to blow shop there.
Operation Dudula's leadership team is meeting later today to decide on its future.
We're in Diepkloof now. We're heading to Pretoria, where we're going to be with the whole national executive discussing the issues for the provincial conference that we'll be having. I cannot disclose any information, but yeah, we're leaving now. We're heading to Pretoria.
They've brought their very own documentary crew.
Because we're doing so there's about two move to Pambi.
I don't think there's a crisis anymore. It's a current.
Ngenzela ukuthi singasalise siba ma sardine. Yeah, singabe ama sardine. Oh.
So do you find that you coordinate everything and you tend to rally everybody?
Yeah, you know, sometimes also being a woman around men get to carry the whole responsibilities, but it's like more like I'm the mother of the movement. So yeah, I'm surrounded by men. You know, men can sometimes be a bit too slow, so you just need to make sure that you push.
Today, the leadership will decide whether Operation Dudula should become a political party and contest next year's general election.
When you're a political party, there are things that as a civic movement you could do and not as a political party. There's laws, implications, and you know, there's monies that will be paid if we go on the wrong side of the law. So it's a bit tricky. This one. Thanks.
What they decide will be put to members at a conference in a few days' time.
So the purpose of today is to create a framework and a discussion document for this coming weekend. And this
Elections are due next year, and current polling suggests for the first time ever, the ANC vote could fall below 50%.
Can we start with the business of the day?
Populist movements like Operation Dudula are keen to fill that vacuum. After the meeting, I asked Sandile, where did all this start?
It's a mess. Our country is a mess. Foreign nationals are working on a 20-year plan of taking over South Africa.
Where did you get the information about foreign nationals having a plan to take over South Africa?
It's a rumor, but it looks like it's happening, because when we see things happening, then now you start seeing that, yeah, actually, it looks like there is a plan.
If you hear that people have a plan to take over the country but have no way of verifying that, isn't that dangerous?
The way we see things happening, we'd believe that the rumor is actually true, because things are happening, you know, there's drugs, you see drugs everywhere, and most of the drug addicts are South Africans rather than foreign nationals. So what's happening? Are they feeding our own brothers and sisters so that it can be easy for them to take over?
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. These are conspiracies and rumors, but the consequences could be really dangerous.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No. Who is on your mind? Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
For God so loved the world, and he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. In Proverbs 28 verse 13, the Bible says, he that covereth his sin shall not prosper, but whosoever confess them and forsake them shall have mercy. Unbelief is sin, unforgiveness is sin, selfishness is sin. I want to let you know, pride is sin, contention, strife, giving malice, bearing grudge, lusting after evil thing, covetousness, love of money, love of the world, insincerity, disobedience, blasphemy, anger, envy, speaking evil of other people, backbiting, murmuring, cursing people, swearing with heaven and earth. All these are terrible sins. You must confess them, renounce them, and promise God no more.
In the month of December, the 1st is World AIDS Day, while the 2nd of December is International Day for the Abolition of Slavery. On the 3rd is International Day of Persons with Disabilities. On the 4th of December, attention shifts as the day is dedicated to World Wildlife Conservation. The 7th is International Civil Aviation Day, and on the 9th is International Anti-Corruption Day. On the 10th is Human Rights Day, and on the 21st is World Basketball Day. 25th is Christmas Day, when Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. The day after is Boxing Day, which is on the 26th, and on the 31st is New Year's Eve. Brace yourself and tune in to TVC News for in-depth reporting and analysis on these days. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Business lives on the fast track of numbers. Business is a strange world where low numbers mean something different. And its currency are speed and time. Finding the open doors of Main Street is not just good business, it's the start of the business. Join us every weekend on Business Week.
TVC News, first with breaking news.